Good day, Sparrows. Good day to you. It is another Matters of the Heart Monday. And of course, I am Valerie Miller of TVM, the Valerie Miller Double Fold. This very moment, you have opportunity to change. And I am bringing to you tonight the one and the only Darroyal McKnight, also known as Royal Knight. So come on into the room, get comfortable. He's a gospel rap artist and one that I can applaud in gratitude of meeting. So it is a wonderful thing. Come on into the room. How shall I say? Come into this house. Come into the house. I'm going to change my language. There's so many people saying, come into the room. No, come into this house, the bird house, right? We're sparrows here. So come on in, get comfortable, get cozy, because we have a great conversation that's set for you tonight. Okay, like I said, he's a gospel artist, and he's in ministry. He's doing so many things around the country, and I'm not going to say too much of all of this right now because you're going to get to experience him for yourself. So he should be in with us momentarily. I'm waiting for him to drop in, and I'm wondering if I should send him an invitation to come on in. But in the meantime, let me tell you a little bit, because I had on the timeline earlier, and I shall be, probably reposting some of those things later as well, about some of the artists that he's actually worked with. He's crossed paths with, Canton Jones. He's doing some things around the country, with some other artists, and just really making a significant difference. So, wow, I can't even wait to elaborate just a bit more as to what else he has on the horizon for himself, how he's doing it within community, and all of the lives that he's actually touched, right? So that is going to be the juice. And hopefully he'll be on in this room, the house, any moment now. And there's the doorbell. He's here. He's here. Royal, welcome.
Yes,
How are you today, sir?
I'm pretty good. How you doing?
I can't complain at all. Thank you so much for taking time to drop in with, the Valerie Miller, of course, on this Matters of the Heart Monday. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Yes, man. Thank you for having me.
Not a problem at all. So, I've given a quick overview of who you are, about you being in ministry, about you doing what you do in community. And I know there is a backstory when it comes to who you are and how you've arrived to be where you are right now. So why don't you serve a little juice and share with myself and the Sparrows, as in, how did Darroyal McKnight become Royal Knight?
Well, the Royal McKnight is a young man who has dealt with a lot of trials and tribulations in life. Was raised in a single parent home, a mother that raised her son in church and had a lifestyle of just going through the struggle.
Right.
And my mama, she was one who always believed in God and just always tried to show a different route. Regardless of what we was dealing with, she always believed that God was going to bring us out of these situations. So me growing up, I was just always, into the wrong things. I was always hard-headed and not listening to my mom, and just being influenced by people in my circle to doing any and everything to chase money. So around the age of 17 is when I first got locked up. Got stopped by the police. 1 o'clock in the morning, and because I was 17 with no record, they basically false charged me with possession of marijuana and attempting to distribute. And ever since then, it was like a constant cycle of me getting locked up. There's a lot of things I didn't get caught for, and a lot of things I have. But how I became a Royal Knight, just the simple fact, one day God has got my attention in the midst of my darkness. And he gave me the name Royal Knight just for the simple fact he took it from my real name. See, the Bible tells us that a good name is better than silver and gold. So he took the Royal McKnight and gave me Royal Knight. And I'm like, okay, so what's really the meaning behind all of it? He said, you are part of my royal priesthood and you are a knight in my army. So if you look at royal, that's is kingdom. You know, it's living a prosperous life, not just material things.
Yes.
Being royal is part of a family that's glorified, you know, in Christ.
Right.
So a knight is one who is willing to go through the fight, knowing that he might fall, he might get beat up, might have to get up with some scars and bruises, but he's willing to go through the fight. And that's how I am. So when the enemy comes at me, I'm willing to go through the fight. Because at the end of the day, he's helping me to get closer to God.
That's exactly right.
Yes, ma'am.
That's power within itself. For you to even, first of all, your mother gave you the name. Our true father took the name that your mother gave you and really painted the picture of who you are to stand to be in Christ.
Mm-hmm.
Royalty stands. Royalty fight for what you have to fight for, the things that you believe in, and it goes back into the integrity to the core of who you are as an individual.
Yes,
in Christ, because we are his reflection. So that is the ultimate royal. So very interesting testimony. Now, it's not just because of the fight you have every day. It's not because of the reflections of where you have come from. It's about where you're actually going. Now that you have alignment and acknowledgement of who you are, you have accepted who you are. You accept the things that you had to go through in order to become who you are today.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
that knowledge, how are you moving forward in community? Because I've seen some things that you've been doing and know from the back end of conversations of things that you're working towards. So what would you say to the Sparrows as in your destiny of quest? How is that becoming now in your leadership in reflection to others?
Well, basically, I'm always amongst people every single day. I go out in the streets and I promote my music. Sometimes I do things when I'm helping the homeless and doing concerts on the streets,
Right.
pouring out to people, praying for people. God using me to prophesy, all those things. And I'm just out here every day, consistent and loving the mission and the purpose that God has given me to reach those who really don't truly know him, who have stepped outside of the church, but I take the church to them, but not to condemn them or judge them,
Exactly.
but show them that I've been in their shoes.
Yes.
And let them know if God can do it for me, he can do it for them. All it takes is taking one step, and that's by believing in him and trusting in what he can do, and that he'll never leave you. And if you just believe in him and lean out to your understanding, he can open doors for you. And the main thing is consistency in prayer. You know, there's power in prayer. I got to where I'm at today because of my prayer. But not just me praying, but believing, and then whatever God spoke to me, I follow through what he said.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's the epitome of it. That is what most fail to realize. When something is shown, when you have that relationship, you have your prayer life, and you have a strong belief system. However, it takes action and obedience
Exactly.
to follow through on those things that he is showing you in your preview, in your mind. So until you get off of your bum and get moving on what he is showing you, then it's impossible to have royalty to show up into your life unless you do something about it. Because nothing just falls into your lap. Nothing does.
Right.
You know, it's not that easy. However, he can do it. However, he wants us to also learn from the engagement, learn from the experience in order to pay it forward. And you pay it forward because you're passionate about it, because of having the experience.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Love it. Now, I know you have some recorded things, and I know it's been some tracks that you forwarded over to me, and we had a previous engagement on Instagram. which brought us here because it wasn't able to be saved.
Mm-hmm.
How about that? It wasn't able to be saved. But you know what? You can always do it again, right?
Right.
If it didn't work the first time, you know what? Learn from it, move forward, do it again, and you'll get a different result that was so not rehearsed. So, with it being said, we are on take two. And take two is for the simple fact it was planned. And so, knowing that this conversation was a planned conversation, this date and time, let's put it this way, because it took some leverage for us to even get to where we are right now with this. So, moving forward, how can you touch individuals? Because I know you do things unconventional, and I believe in it. Anything that's unscripted is usually the best because you are truly moving in faith, right?
Right.
Trusting what you're led to do. So with your everyday walk, and you say you take it to the streets because
Every single day.
yeah, we have a different call. Like you take it to the streets, I'm here virtually. And it's some things that I do out in community as well because it's a responsibility. Because as many people as we can touch and give them that realization of who God sincerely is and how your life can change just by having that relationship, that's a gift within itself. It really and sincerely is. So, what are some additional things? Because I know the messages in your music are powerful. And then you are face to face in community every day. What are going to be some next steps that you, as Royal Knight, are going to be doing for community and your brand of kingdom business? So, what is happening?
Well, God is doing things for me to minister on TV. Last night is coming from ministering on Canton Jones show.
Okay.
And so he's doing that. It was amazing. I love the experience. And people love the music and my testimony. It's like, wow, that's powerful.
It is.
Because he was like, that's amazing how you had an encounter with God. And it wasn't even at the church. I was in my room and God came in and showed me who he was. And there was no way that a man can show me this. It had to be God himself.
Exactly.
So, I try to tell you, like, God is truly amazing. So I just want to see people have a deeper understanding of who God is and the importance of having a relationship with Jesus Christ.
Absolutely.
So
That's it.
a lot of people they're lost, and I don't want to just tell people they're lost, but a lot of people lack of understanding of who they truly are and what their purpose is on earth.
Right.
We just living day to day thinking we supposed to all just go to work, come home, go to work, come home, and that's it. No, there's so much more to life that God wants us to have. Abundance. He said you should prosper as your soul prosper. You should prosper with joy, with finances, with peace, with everything, and just living this life, more than what you can imagine or think of.
It is that amazing. And it's 100%
Yes.
fact. That's why I do what I do. What you see in this show, that's just a piece of the puzzle. It really is. Being a conscious lifestyle strategist is basically aligning individuals with what their birthright gifts are, what you were sincerely born to do, and unveiling that to yourself because I introduce you to yourself. And that's what the introduction is. And it's different ways of having ministry. And for me, it's aligning people with their birthright purpose in life and doing that. Because until you open up that present, you are just basically existing in life. Once you realize who you are and you can walk and live in that space every single day in every area of your life, that's when you're actually living. And living is living in freedom every day in what you do because it's not a job. It's not to even look at as work because you're doing exactly what you sincerely love. And that's going to be the difference in that. So it's vital that you go about taking that veil off of your face and walking around blind and lost, because lost is sincere. And we can be kind about it as much as we can, but there are going to be times when we have to literally say that.
Right.
You're lost, and let's try to rediscover yourself. Let's do this together, because
Right.
you're going to need guidance. All of us need guidance. And it
Right.
takes a community of people. It takes a family member. It takes a church. It's different spaces to where we all may have that awakening moment. And when we have that awakening moment, it's so amazing to where you want everybody to have that experience. And that's where we are. And it's at different times. We all get there at different times, but making it available to everyone. You might want to find some Jesus in your life. You might want to go ahead and make that a priority, because until you have that relationship, you can't possibly get to the Father. You can't get to God without him. So
Right.
it's doing what we are aligned to do and recognizing it when it's made available. And for you, it could be taking the streets. For me, it could be on camera. It could be whatever is presently right now, whatever our conscious alignment is. However, take notice when it's time to shift. Notice when it's time to soar. Notice when it's time to speak and stand forth on that stage of righteousness. You have to do that. So I applaud you
Glory to God.
for doing. I applaud you wholeheartedly, and so grateful for you coming into the house, in this house, because every message, every conversation is definitely a juicy conversation, one. However, it's a necessary conversation, because someone somewhere needs to hear what we've had to say. That's what's so important about it, and making it available to anyone who wants to hear it.
Right.
That's what I'm so excited about, and the message that you're actually spreading. It's a positive message, and the people that you're able to reach, phenomenal. Because those that you reach, I'm unable to reach. And the ones I reach, someone else is not going to be able to reach. So we all have a perspective place. And if we look at each and every one of ourselves as a disciple, we couldn't stay there. We can't stay grouped together as most people look at the walls of a church. Everything does not happen within the four walls of the church. You have to take it to the streets, because not one time was Jesus ever shown speaking from the pulpit. You know, he was always out and about,
Right.
touching the people, and those that were in the worst of shape, the ones
Right.
that had the most challenges. That's where you saw him most. And that is what is so appreciated. And I can take away from my view of what you're doing. So keep pounding those streets, keep doing what you're doing, and allow those doors to continue to open for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Likewise.
Thank you. I'm so excited. And I know before you had a song. Should I say song, or was it a rap? Should I call it a rap?
It was both.
About a melody of lyrics
Mm-hmm.
that you shared. We didn't talk about you doing that this time.
No, because I don't know if I maybe even play it. Because I played it in my car last time.
You did. So, you know, I'll put you on the spot. I'll do it in a heartbeat, like I'm doing you right now.
Yeah.
Because it's all about how you leave the Sparrows. You come in one way, just like we all come in one way. However, it's something that was said in this dialogue today that is going to be something that is necessary to carry away. So what are you going to leave the Sparrows with? In a melody, or something, a quick lyric?
I can do some acapella.
Love it. So why don't you just give us a sample of Royal Night?
Okay, listen. Let me tell you about me, exactly what I remember. It all started in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Lived in that south side. Violence was outside. I saw it with my own eyes before the age of 5. At any point in my life, man, I could have died. Seen a lot of poverty, my mama trying to raise me right. But I was hard-headed at school. All I did was fight. Got addicted, hitting lit, selling drugs day and night. Up on the grind, it caused me to be locked up 9 times. God truly saved me. I'm on this track, I'm testifying. I know what it is to be caught up in these streets. Ducking dies in the feds, chasing bread, pray you don't end up dead. Look, I was stuck up in them same shoes. Didn't have a clue. Jesus saw someone that he can use. No more confused. My mind renewed. I remember what the Lord brought me through. Yeah. The love of God is so amazing. There's nothing in this world that's really worth chasing. I tried a lot of things to overcome what I was facing. Nothing compares to his power, it brings restoration. In the midst of it all, I just have to keep on praising. I'm seeking him for guidance. Every day I'm praying. I humble myself and let the Lord lead the way. Cause trying to do it on my own, the outcome won't be great. I've been down that road. I made the same mistakes. No matter what I've done, Jesus took my place up on the cross. So all my sins been cast away. No more I'm condemned. Romans chapter 8. Can't wait till that day I see my Father face to face. He welcomes me with open arms, eternal life awaits. I know with everything I see, I would be amazed. I fall to my knees with my hands raised.
Thank you so much. That was
Hallelujah.
hot. That was hot.
Thank you.
Was that just off the top of your head, or is that something you have recorded?
Something I've written down.
That is awesome. And
Amen.
it's a great reminder too. I just, we all have a walk. We have that walk that we've taken, but when we can get to a place of pause and we can stand there, reflect back on it and see the growth, that's the gift. That's the gift. And, that's how we serve juice every day. That's how we spread the word every day, no matter what we call it, as long as we're doing our part in doing that. That's
right.
Important. Wow. And how can the Sparrows reach you?
Available on all social media, Facebook, Royal Knight, ROYLKNIGHT, Instagram, Royal Knight Official. My music is available on all digital outlets, iTunes, Spotify, you name it, I'm on there. On my YouTube, I got a lot of videos, me doing street ministry, sermons, and everything on there.
Okay.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, well, it's 2 o'clock. It's 2 o'clock and it's gratitude time. So I have Your Love is King by Sade to play every day now. So
yeah.
You remind me, because you almost went into that sway. I went into it. That's what I did and snoozed it, because every day, 2 o'clock is my time, was when I come to a screeching halt, and I thank God. That's my time with him, to say thank you for my life. Thank you for this day, because I didn't have to have it. You allowed me to have it. And that is important to me. So to shut it down, to just pause at 2 o'clock and have something to catch my attention and say, girl, it's 2 o'clock. You better say thank you. So my gratitude right now, I'm going to say thank you for your time. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for all that you do, and continue to soar and be the sparrow that you were chosen to be, to do what you are doing now and what you're going to be doing in the future, moving forward, because your testimony is the proof of evidence of where you are. Mm-hmm. Every footstep is, again,
ordained by God.
That's it. It's orchestrated. And the times when we have fallen, we've had to fall back up, where we couldn't carry ourselves, he picked us up. And so there are going to be times, even moving forward in our chosen life space, we're going to need him to carry us at times, because we fall prey, and then we have to be picked back up to stay focused on our course. So it's the human nature in us. We can't get away from it. It's a part of it. And continue to tell your story. So that's my gratitude for today, this very moment. So I'm going to put it on you. If I so happen to be talking to someone at 2 o'clock, you fall into that gratitude time as well. So this very moment, what are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for my life, my daughter, the ministry God has given me, and this God been a blessing unto me to be a blessing to others.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nice to be grateful. Life happens, things fall into situations, challenges every day. sometimes we may even question, like, okay, what is this whole point? And then something happens and you say, oh yeah, this is why I do it. This is why I do it. You're constantly reminded. So that's one of the reasons why it's always going to be a screeching halt come 2 o'clock, and something that's going to remind me, be grateful right now, because now is what's important, not what was taking place yesterday, not what's coming forward tomorrow, because we haven't made it to tomorrow yet. Who's to say either of us are going to be here tomorrow? But we do have this very moment, and that's
Right.
what's most important. So see how gratitude just changes the course of everything. And you're never wrong with a little Sade, and she coming that your love is king. The King, Jesus, the King of all kings, God.
Come on. Come on.
So your love is king, and that's how I look at it. So triple snaps on that. Yes. I appreciate you so much. You have
Yes,
no
ma'am.
idea. And I know it's going to be some other things that's going to be taking place between myself, at TVM, and you, Royal Night. I'm just looking forward to it. And the best to everything moving into your 2020 and beyond.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So on that note, Sparrows, thank you so much for joining us on this day, this evening, this time. And be sure to follow Royal Knight and keep your eyes peeled to what's going on with him. He has apparel. It's a number of things that you're going to be seeing unveil over the time. So keep your eyes open. Keep them open for this person. He is amazing. He is God's child. He's our brother, and support him in all that he does. And on that note, you have been served juice. You can sip on it. You can gulp it as long as you ingest it. It's all that I care about. And on that note, final note, love without conditions. Always possess a positive attitude and soar in all you do. I love you, mean it. Smooches. I'll be in touch with you, Royal.
Yes, ma'am.
Ciao, ciao.
All right.